So I guess the first thing we just need, if you just always talk to me too.
Okay, don't look at this thing, look
Yeah,
at you.
yeah, don't look in the lens.
Okay, that's great.
And,
All right, my name is Sean Mahoney. It's hard not to look at the thing. My name is Sean Mahoney, Mahoney. Anybody who owns a computer in my age group, is, especially single people, are looking on these things. It seems like a lot of them are looking on just because there's a lot of funny stuff. When I first moved to town here, a friend of mine made a mention that, oh, you're new to town, and you should start looking at the missed connections. I bet you're going to have all these missed connections, but I never did, because this person was a fanatic, and it turns out a good majority of people I know, either in secret or not, are checking these things every single day. I don't know. I mean, who hasn't had the desire to be looked for, or to look for someone who they saw in a street in a city, you know, or someone you had like a summer romance with when you were 14, or any of the crazy fucking situations that could happen. But everyone's always looking for someone, or, you know, everyone wants to be thought of. So, well, I woke up one day with about 5 or 6 text messages on my phone that were all, you know, various people I know, numbers I didn't even know, that were like, I saw you on Craigslist, you know, there's a youngin', or there's a, you know, love is in the air, or something like that. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And sort of, I guess the backstory totally is that about a week before I found it, we were hanging out drinking and joking about the missed connections and kind of how strange they are, you know. Like, saw you at Walmart with a Bruins hat, and that's it. And how are you going to find someone like that? And so we posted a bunch of fake ones, just like to each other, back a few friends. And so I woke up to this one that ended almost the same way as one that I made up as a joke. And so I figured it was a joke for about, I don't know, a few days or so. And, you know, so I had all these messages, people keep saying things, and I kind of let it go. And then I told a friend of mine who works here at the bakery with me, and he decided that he would be my agent, and he would try to find out who it was. I mean, I think he had fun doing it. I mean, we didn't get together and like giggle about it or anything. I didn't even see him throughout this whole thing, and then he just friggin' sends me all this information, you know. This email was like, you know, hi, my name is so-and-so. You know, I like to bake in my own time. I like to do all this stuff. You know, so I give a little list back, and then she's really, really confused. She has no idea what's going on, because it turns out that she didn't write it. She must have mentioned me or something like this, and her friend decided that she would, or he or she would write this thing for her. And so, yeah, so then we emailed for maybe a day or two. I wrote to her and was just like, you know, I hope you're not too embarrassed. I feel bad about this. You know, I've been getting calls and people in bars asking me about it and stuff. So, am I leaving anything out? No. So, we met here at the bakery and went out to the woods and went for a long walk, and then went to the water, and I went to like Goodwill. And at first I was a little embarrassed and annoyed a little bit at people doing this, and I was like, oh, what's going to happen? I don't want to get wrapped into some crazy tunnel, you know, but it ended up being like really fun. It's definitely one of the nicer things that's happened more recently. So during the holiday break, I went to go visit a friend of mine, and then, you know, who I've had this, you know, sort of been sweet on for a long time. And then something proceeded to happen with that. She used to live here. She doesn't live here anymore, but I'd see her like where she worked, you know, nearby like once or twice. And then I saw her at like an art and craft fair selling stuff, and then like at like an art gallery once, and just it's like, oh, I keep seeing this girl, and my roommate knew who she was from the college that she works at. And so it was more someone, before I met her, as someone I just thought was like radiantly beautiful, just this really beautiful person. And so that's how I knew her, but I didn't, you know, she always had a boyfriend, so I never dealt with it. And then, you know, circumstances made it so something nice did happen. So that is just randomly another random thing that happened in my week, you know. So as I had this misconnection, and then, you know, like less than a week later, I went, you know, I'm en route to go visit my parents for the holiday, and I stopped and figure I'm going to have maybe a few hours with this person, you know, hang out, have lunch, and ended up spending the entire day and night hanging out and having just a really dreamlike evening. So, yeah. And then how do I segue into this?
It sounds like a good week for your ego.
Yeah, oh, it was great. It was great. You know, I'm on top of the clouds, man. I've had so many fleeting, like, just moments with people, and people you see all the time in town, or someone who people who they've known forever, they just don't know how, you know. I've had friends where I've had these feelings and I see them all the time, but you don't know how to express that. You can never break down that barrier of friendship or whatever it is to, you know, cross that line and say, you know, I think I love you, or, you know, can we like try this from a different angle? I admire people that just go for it and hit that fucking send button, and it's out there, you did it, you know, like there's, you know, go crack a beer, you know, freaking smoke something, do whatever the hell, you rejoice, because you put yourself out there, even though you're behind a screen there's all these cables and air, you know, things in the air that are connecting you, and then don't have any regret about it. That's really, it's as much as it's anonymous, it is really bold, and it really boosts. Anytime you make any movement like that, the electricity in your body must just be going crazy, like storms in your heart and storms in your brain just flipping out. But I would never do it. I think anytime you take a leap of faith with your emotions and your feelings, that's, you know, telling someone thank you sometimes feels like, I feel like I did something huge, you know, giving someone a hug that you don't know or something, I don't know. Yeah, it's freaking hard to show your emotions to people, whether it's telling them or writing them a letter or typing it out.